Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you a really neat trick on how to remember the exact value ratios for trig just using your left hand, right? Forget about drawing triangles or using a calculator. We're just going to use our left hand and make sure you stick to the end to see how we find the values for sine, cos and tan. Alright, let's start. So when you're taught how to remember the exact trig value ratios, they teach you to draw these triangles. Alright, 60 degree, 30 degree, root 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 45, 45, root 5, and then we get all these 6 different values. Or 9, right? 6 here, so sine 30 is a half, and etc. You can see these are the exact values we're talking about. And there's also, but this trick I'm going to show you also works for 0 and 90 degrees, right? So these triangles only give you 30, 45, and 60, but my trick will also help you get 0 and 90 degrees. So is this what we're going to do? No, we're just going to forget about this method. Right? And I'm going to show you how the trick works. Okay, everyone? So here's how this trick's going to work. We're going to get our left hand, palm facing us. Right? So this is my thumb. So this is the thumb. And this is the pinky finger. And then we're going to sign the thumb is 0 degrees. The index is 30. Middle is 45. Ring is 60. And pinky is 90 degrees. So those are the fixed angles for each of those fingers. So all you need to know now for sine, cos and tan are what are the exact numbers. You don't need to know what angle goes with which side, you just need to know the exact side. So these ratios. So for sine and cos, the 5 exact values for these 5 angles are 0, half, root 3, 1 and root 2 and 1. They're the 5 different values. So how are we going to remember those just using our hand? Well, the trick for sine is we're going to list in increasing order. So what is the order these start from lowest to highest? Well, and how would you work it out? Well, here's the order. It's 0, then it goes a half, 1 on root 2, root 3 on 2, and 1. That's in order from smallest to largest. But how would you remember which goes where? Well, to know how to compare these numbers is if we square them, right? If we square a half, we get a quarter. We square 1 on root 2, we get a half. If we square root 3 on 2, we're going to get 3 over 4. So obviously you can see a quarter, half, 3/4, that's increasing order. So what that means is we have these values right here with our left hand in increasing order. So 0 degrees is 0 for sine. So sine of 0 is 0. Then we go here, sine of 30, what's the next value? A half. Then sine 45, what's the value after that? 1 on root 2. Sine 60, what's the value after 1 on root 2? That's root 3 on 2. And sine 90, what's the highest value? 1. So with this trick, you can just count on your hand. So I go here, alright, so in the middle, sine 45, what's the order? It goes 0, half, 1 on root 2. There we go. Sine 45 is 1 on root 2. So now let's look, how does this work for cos? So for cos, it's the opposite, list in decreasing order. So now 0 degrees is 1, 30 degrees is root 3 on 2, 45 degrees is still 1 on root 2 because cos and sine are both the same there, and there's a reason for that. That's the complementary identity. Then what's 60? That's a half. Lastly, what's 90? 0. So the key to remember here is to remember each value of each finger is 0, 30, 45, 60, 90, that stays the same. Then you just need to know what are the 5 values in 0, half, root 3, 1 on root 2, and 1. And then sine is increasing order, and then cos is in decreasing order. So with practice, you'll be able to just use your hand to count what it is without having to draw a triangle, and you'll be able to do it pretty instantly. And then cos go in reverse. So let's lastly look at tan. So for tan, what are the exact values? Well, we've got 0, root 3, 1, 1 on root 3, and undefined, right? Because by definition, tan 90 is undefined because cos 90 is 0. And we'll talk about that in a future tutorial on tan's relation to sine and cos, if you don't know it already. So then what's the trick for tan? The same as sine, increasing order. So the increasing order for this one is really straightforward. 0, 1 on root 3, 1, root 3, because 1's in the middle. 1 on root 3 has to obviously be less than 1 because root 3 is bigger than 1. Right, because square root of 1 is 1, so anything bigger than square root 1 will have to be bigger than 1. So that's how we go for 10. 10, 0, 0. 10, 30, what's the next value after the 0? That's 1 on root 3. 10, 45, what's after that? 1. 10, 60, what's after that? Root 3. And then 10, 90 is undefined. So that's the trick to using your hand to remember, your left hand, how to remember the sine, cos, and tan exact values for 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45, 60, and 90. They're the main 5 you need to know, because using those 5 you can work out pretty much all the other values in different quadrants, which is for a future video. Okay, so if you enjoy this trick, I recommend to start practicing it, right? Because it's really neat once you get the hang of it. Instead of having to draw a triangle, just use your hands. You'll be able to associate the exact values with each finger. And sine, remember, increasing order from thumb to pinky, cos decreasing order, so pinky to thumb, and tan is the same as sine, it's increasing order. Alright, so if you enjoyed this little trick on how to remember the exact values, leave us a comment, sorry that's stuttering, and subscribe for future videos. Videos pretty much nearly every day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the fan favorite video.